Live. Looks like we're live. Hey, what's up? Welcome to another episode of Backwoods Live. This is episode number 44. I am so glad you guys could be here with me today. I have some great things happening out here. It is cold. It is frosty. It just snowed earlier today. Amazing. I'm very excited about that. I think that's fantastic. Sarcasm in my voice is very extreme with this one. But anyways, besides all that, I have my little fisheye lens going on right here. Nice and big and wide. Hopefully that's going to be something different than the straight up lens that we were doing on the last episode. But either way, I do appreciate you guys joining me on today's episode. So let's get right into it so we can see what we can make happen today. Now what we're going to be building today is actually very simple, very obvious. It's a popsicle. Nice cold day like today, why not build a popsicle skateboard? So let's get you guys lined up over here. There we go. And then if you have any questions, comments, concerns about anything I'm doing, please let me know. At the same time we're doing this live, I'm actually trying to do another live right now with my phone. It like keeps coming back and forth between working and not working. So I don't know if it's gonna continue to work. Oh, Super Turbo, what's up? Hey, how you doing? So glad you could join me. Sorry if I missed you. I didn't realize that. I was sitting here looking at other things, not realizing what's going on. So let me see what you think, you guys, about the fisheye lens here. It's a little dark. It's not bad though. I can show that thing really cool like that. I thought that would be really cool. And then you still have the straight shot right here. Now watch, I'm gonna walk over to this. And see, it's still just not wanting to work. Just not wanting to work. It's just ridiculous. It doesn't make sense. We're just gonna have to say done with that because it just doesn't wanna work. Okay, so I have a Mellow. I believe I have a twin here. I didn't even look. No, this is just a regular straight up shape. That does have a tail and it does have a nose. Very specific on this shape here. Now I said we're going to make a popsicle. I don't know what size we're going to make it yet because I honestly don't know. I'm thinking somewhere like 825. The other two I made was 8.5 and 8.68 if I'm not mistaken. So this will be right in the same family. I think for the project that this guy's going to be doing, it'll work out perfectly. And if not, well, then I'll just shape some new ones and send these on down the line here. So as with every board, we have to find our center points here. And I'm using 18 inches as always to find my center line. Flip it over, and we're going to do the same for the other side. There we go, and I think before a minute here, I'm going to try to get that other stream happening, but I think because I'm trying to use my phone connection, it's just not wanting to work too well. Okay, so for this particular shape, hi cutie, thank you very much. For this particular shape, we're going to be doing a wheelbase of, say, I think we're going to stick to the standard wheelbase. That sounds pretty good, right? 14.25. That's a good one. It's not. I like to stick with that. 7 1/8. And then on this side, I have to also do 7 1/8. I like to stick with a standard wheelbase because when I recommend a skateboard to people, it's just something I have on hand most of the time. And this will facilitate just about any skateboarder's needs. There are certain situations where smaller or bigger wheelbase might, said hi, how you doing, might be helpful, but in this instance, I think 14.25 will be just about perfect. So we have our lines set up here, or I'm sorry, our spots where we can mark our line. So mark our line here. Oh, almost tripped. And then I can do the same for this one. So I don't know about you guys, but we just got some snow like I was saying in this area. Again, so it's like snow sitting on top of ice. Just treacherous. Just no fun. I am not digging it. Not one bit. Can't wait for the warm weather to come at me. All right, 5.5. We are finding our center point on the other dimensions now is what I'm doing. 5.5. I'm going to flip it around. Do the same thing for this side. Okay, just like that. Now I'm ready to connect those middle points right there. And with this T, I can then use that to find where my trucks are going to go, which is going to be our next step. Let's see. Right about there, I think. Seems good. Yep, right there. And then I'm going to do the same for this side. Obviously making sure I'm on the centermost line here, or point, so I have a nice straight wheelbase to use. Sorry, my hands are a little cold. It's a little cold out here today, a little frigid. So I can always double check that by going like that, looking down it. You can see it on that camera right there. If you look down the edge of it, you can see that nice straight line as it should be. Now we are ready to put some bolt holes in this thing for our trucks. So we have to do a little camera rotation. So hang with me a second. I can first spin you guys around right about there, real close to things, and then I'll spin that around. You can just get a wide shot of what we're about to do. These are the two decks I worked on last time. Actually, that's just too far. It's just not going to work. We're going to have to slide you out just a little bit differently. Something like that, I think. That works. I have to be a little funky here with what I'm doing because I have a curtain up to keep the heat into this warehouse, and it keeps getting in the darn way. But I guess that's just what you have to deal with. Right there. That works. So these are the two that we worked on last episode. I can set those off to the side. They're just ready to come in and get some graphics, or in this case, they're just going to get some paint, not really any particular graphic on this one. They're just going to have a nice painted bottom. I'm not sure what he's going to do with them. I believe it's going to be some sort of art project, but I don't know. We'll find out. Okay, so before I can go putting holes in this thing, I feel like you can't see me. I want you to be able to see me, see what I'm talking about. Before I go putting holes in this thing, I have to find out where I'm going to put my holes. And I do that by using this. I can show you right here on the fishy. There you go. It's pretty sweet. It's useful. I made it myself. Super luxurious to have and to use. So I'm very simple, low tech about this. I just mark it out with a pencil, making sure I have a sharp pencil. Very important to have a sharp pencil for this particular process, because if I have these holes just off a little bit, I won't be able to mount the trucks. If you can't put trucks on here, well, you ain't going to be skating very far. I apologize about the fisheye lens behind me. Obviously, nobody wants to stare at my backside while I'm doing this, but I have a limited space I can go with that cable currently. So we just have to go with it. Okay, so that is my first side. I'll show you what I did. Very simple, low tech. Just put some holes into the thing. Into the thing. Very specific scientific terminology there. Now I'm going to do it on the other side. Sometimes leaning it like this just makes it a little easier. On my earlier shows, I would have like a old box I used for the same thing. There we go. Now, there we go. are all set up and ready to put some holes in this thing. So I'll show you guys again. That's what we're working with, top and bottom. There it is on the fisheye. You can see the whole shebang. That's what I like about the fisheye. Classic skate video vibe. But at the same time, you miss a lot of the detail shots, which is just kind of a sad point of it. There we go. Now we're going to put some holes in this thing. I'm actually going to get rid of the fisheye shot for now, just so you can get a little closer shot. I probably am going to end up having my arm in the shot a little bit. I apologize for that. All right, let's get this thing fired up. I want to be very slow, very precise with this. I don't want to rush it. I'm not trying to be quick necessarily about this. I'm all about quality versus quantity. So that is what is very most important to me, is putting out a quality skateboard. There we go. Grind them holes out. Now I can do this side. Got to hold it very flat while I'm doing it. I'm holding it flat against the work surface so I don't make a mistake. I don't want to make a mistake at this point. At any point, really. Making a mistake at any point is probably going to be bad news. Alright, as with any power tool, I'll always be careful if you don't usually work with them. I happen to do quite a bit of work with power tools, so I'm relatively comfortable with them. But sometimes you never can tell. Oh, not too far. I almost got off there, you saw that. Almost. I gotta move it a little bit right there. Perfect. Right there. Okay, there we go. 2 more to do, and then we are ready to continue with this build. There we go. 1 more to go. Okay. Pretty quick, pretty painless. It's a little sketchy sometimes when you do it, because you don't want it to be off, you know. So I like to take my time and make sure everything is going to be nice and pretty. So my final check is take a pair of trucks that I have retired and check them against the holes that I just made. And if everything lines up, then I've obviously done something correctly. Now hopefully I won't puncture my bag before I'm able to actually sand this thing out. There we go. Okay, this one's perfect too. So as an added step, I usually will come back and drill out the holes, but I took my drill inside. So we're going to skip that step for today and move right on over to the table here and start designing something. We'll bring this fishy eye back on over here. There we go. Something like that will work. And bring you guys on into the fold right there. So again, any questions, comments, concerns, please let me know in the comments section. I'm happy to answer anything that you may have to ask me. We're going to start shaping this thing up. We got to first lay out how wide we want this thing to be. So currently I'm thinking 825, as I was saying earlier. So take our pencil, and we have to find our halfway point, obviously, of 8.25. Now, give me 1 second. I just realized I want to check this camera, make sure it's still recording, and it is. I have to watch it because 20 minutes, that thing is going to cycle off, and if I miss it, well, then I won't have my fisheye lens for the recorded program, and that would be bad. Anyways, I'm digressing. 825 is our widest point. So I have to find the halfway point of that, which is 4 1/8. So I'll just come over here and mark on the deck surface 4 1/8, and then come to this side and again mark it 4 1/8. And now we can flip it over and do the same thing for the other side. Obviously 4 1/8 and 4 1/8 makes 825. So if you're wondering why we're doing 4 1/8. There we go. And it's always good to double check. Make sure you did what you said you were going to do. So I've done that before. Say like I'm going to mark it 825. I end up making it 8.5 because I wasn't paying attention or something. It's ridiculous. Tell you what, my phone is going off like crazy over there. Maybe I'll try to get another live happening over there because it obviously has a connection happening. So that's something. That's something. So now I'm just drawing the flat edges of this board that we're going to be doing. Okay, right about there. Looks just about right. Just about right. There we go. Now I can show you on the old boom lens. There you go. It's not bad. Maybe you can see those lines. Hopefully you guys can see those. I'm pretty sure maybe you can. So now we have our widest point, and I'm actually going to do a little bit of cheating because I have these two nice decks that I made on the last couple of episodes sitting right here. Boom, doubles. I'm going to use one of them to create my nose and tail. Now the question is, which one do I want to use and for which size? I'm thinking obviously I want the smaller of the two. So I think I want this one. And I think because they're twin, they should be identical on the tops and bottoms, as you can probably see right there on the old lens. Hey, what's up, Rogan Blake? I appreciate you joining me. Sorry I got late to your comment. If you have any questions or comments yourself, please let me know. I'd be happy to answer them. Right now I'm just showing off. We're going to be picking out a nose and a tail for this bad boy that we're making right here. And I was saying that this one that we made already is a twin shape, so we're going to borrow one of the noses to make ours. And we're going to do the same thing for the other side, but we're actually going to modify that one just a little bit because we don't have a twin that we're working on today. Today is just our standard shape that has a wider nose than it does a tail, which most skateboards do, if you didn't realize that already. So let's get this thing lined up. Don't have to be too specific. I'm just trying to get an idea of where it needs to be. Somewhere in that range seems about right. So now I can connect the dots. This board is wider than the board that I have under it that we're trying to make. So I have to be a little tricky with how I'm doing this. So I'm probably not going to draw the whole thing. Usually I stop about the halfway point, 3/4 point, and then I just kind of eyeball the rest. That seems to work out for me most of the time, but not always. Not always. Sometimes I end up just reshaping the whole thing because I didn't like it. So I'll come back and sand it all off and do it again. There we go. Okay, same thing on the other side. I'm going to flip it around this way. Maybe we can get a nice little close shot of me doing this. Now, like I said, I was doing my best to line this up. I don't have to be super precise, but close as I can would probably be best, honestly. So something like that. And then just going to draw this line in just about halfway, 3/4 of the way down. Okay, now we can get rid of this stuff. Set this off to the side. We're done with you for now. Whew. Okay, so now we're ready to connect some lines. As you can see, what we have here, we are almost there with those lines. They're just a little different, just a little off. So we have to make a few minor adjustments here. Let me show you on this screen too. You can see we just have to fill in those gaps right there. Okay, so I'm just going to start right here, right all up in the lens. Hopefully this will be a cool shot anyways. So what I'm trying to do is get some new different shots. I felt like that overhead camera shot before was useful, but a pain in the ass to work with and to set up. So I'm trying not to use that overhead shot. I've actually even taken off the whole thing off the ceiling and moved it to a whole new location. Make sure we're still, oh look, see, we're not recording. I have to hit record again. Now we're recording. I don't know how much of that I missed. I probably missed a good bit of that. So let me clap sync these together again. All right. So I apologize. Apologize for that. You probably missed a good bit of what I was doing there. I don't even know how many minutes you probably missed, but I missed it. You guys wouldn't have seen it. You probably would have seen a screen blackout, but it would have only been for a second. So if the connection is not as smooth as it looks like it is to me, then you would have missed that. And I missed it too, sitting here running my mouth. Okay, I'm ready to do the other side. I tend to work this way better, so maybe this is the shot right here. Get right up in there. I apologize for you guys on that one, but the fisheye is the place to be right now for this kind of shot. That's pretty nice. Yeah, it's pretty nice. Maybe, maybe. Now, same thing on the other side. Run this line up as best I can. There we go. It's not too bad. It's not too bad at all. Slight modifications, I think, here and there. I think our overall length we have to modify a little bit too, because I didn't do anything with that. Oh, look at that. 32 on the money. That's what I like to see. That's what my total length was going to be anyways. So I'm pleased. I am pleased with that. Now I am curious though, what our different tail and nose is. 7-inch. That's on the tail, right? Yeah, that's on the tail. And then on the nose here, we're looking at about 7 1/8 of an inch. So not too much difference. I think once I start sanding into it, I'm going to end up taking off probably 1/8 of an inch off this side. Maybe even when I cut it, adding 1/8 of an inch on this side, thus shifting the pattern just a little bit, but not too much to make too much of a problem for anything. It'll just give it that nice big nose that you're looking for, or I'm looking for, and a nice standard tail, something that's not going to be too big. So any questions, comments, concerns, please let me know in the comments section. I'd be happy to attempt to answer them for you. We're going to be hitting up the jigsaw here in just a second, so things are going to get loud. I'll have to turn on my air machine too. Focus on me more than your teacher. Well, I guess you could look at me as your teacher. I do try to teach as I'm doing this. Try to make it entertaining and teaching. So I don't know if I'm succeeding, but I'm certainly trying. Now, I'm going to actually take one quick second and try and get this thing fired up again. Maybe we'll get lucky. And I know I'm off the camera view right now. I apologize. But I'm just trying to get this live going. We're going to say only this time. Okay. All right, let's get it going. Maybe it doesn't want to do anything. Who knows? It's just no good. It's no good. Okay, like I said, we're going to break out the jigsaw and start cutting. It's going to be a little loud, so watch your ears if you're on headphones. Yeah, it's still just not doing anything. I just think it is No good. It's got to be my connection. My connection is just trash. Okay. Got a tangle of cords down here. Okay. Okay, we're good. Hey, look, it might work. I'm going to go ahead and pop it on live. Now we have another situation going. Hey, what's up? I appreciate you guys joining me. You guys, we're getting ready to cut this thing. Any questions, comments, concerns? Please let me know. This is episode number 44 of Bakwuds Live. Okay, let me tell you, that was a hairy cut. That was not good. Felt like I was zigzagging all over the place, and I was just a little bit. I mean, I didn't get inside the line, so it's not a problem. But that was not a straight cut, not by any means. Look at that. Whoop. That's all right. That's all right. We're just gonna let it ride. I can straighten it all up on the sander over there. So it's not going to be an issue. Tell you what is an issue is this cold. Sorry, I didn't mean to yell. I apologize for yelling. It is damn cold. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of this snow. It's just too much. Too much. I'm ready for the warm. Ready for the warm. I'm just over it. Okay, we're good. Halfway there, we're going to cut this other side now. Any questions, comments, please hit me up in the comments section. Otherwise, let's keep it going. I'm going to be honest. I think it's time for a new blade, because this is probably one of the worst cuts I've ever done. I'm going to be honest. This is awful. It's just not good. It's not good at all. I got to remember to put these over here. That's where they go. So there we go. We have our shape more or less cut out. Making a lot of staticky noise. I apologize about that. Okay, we're still going, still recording, everything's still happening the way it should. Excellent. Okay, so that is what we just cut up and created. Pretty sweet, it's pretty nice. Of course, my cut job is just dreadful. Look at that cut job. Just the worst cut job I could have ever done is probably what I just did here. So I just made like twice as much work for myself on the sander over here. But you know what? That's just the way it is. So we're going to step right over here and start that going. So let me take a second and rotate all these cameras around so we can get this thing happening. There we go. There you go. You want to be right there. We'll turn the fisheye to it also. It's just not looking good though. Maybe if I move it over here. Some doofus keeps standing in the way. Some idiot in a black sweater. There we go. Something like that. That'll work. That'll work. That'll get it. And then you guys on Facebook, I do appreciate you guys joining me. I know there's a lot going on. I have a lot happening. You kind of just jumped right into the episode. But we are making a skateboard. I am freezing my ass off. At least my thumbs. My thumbs are being frozen literally off. Literally. I like that. Fisheyes are always so fun to play with. You can do some really cool stuff with fisheye lenses. Okay, so I'm going to get this thing fired up. I like to tuck in my sweater for safety. Make sure I'm not going to get hemmed up in this thing. That's the last thing I want to happen. So I'm going to fire it on and then we'll get this thing going. Again, any questions or comments, hit me up in the comments section and then I'll answer them as we are going. It's going to be kind of loud. All right. We are ready? Ready? Yeah, let's go. All right, we're getting there. Looking pretty good so far. Make sure we're still recording, and we are. Good, 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 good. I have a little more sanding I have to do. Just a little bit, not too much. So just a little bit more. So I'm still a little shy of my line. I still have a little bit more, but we're just going to let it ride out. Not bad. That's not bad. We got one more side to go. Not bad. Not bad. I think I'm almost ready to keep it. Yeah, I think I'm ready to keep it. Okay, so a couple of things I want to note here. Just give me a second. Just 1 second. Wait for this thing to kick off. Make sure that's back up. I know it's super loud. Got to keep checking my cameras. Got a lot of things happening. So, I'm just going to cut that off too. That thing can be really distracting as well as helpful. It's important to remember that my lines that I am making are not set in stone. Just because I put a line on there doesn't necessarily mean that that is exactly what I'm going to end up keeping it at. It's more or less a guideline, a reference point. So, in case in point, this one is actually wider than 825, which we originally went for. So we're looking at like a 1/16 more on each side, which is going to put us 1/8 over. And then if you do the math on that, that's going to be 8 3/8. But I still have to take it to the bag sander, which we're about to do next. And then once we do that, we're going to take it to some final sanding. So we'll see what we end up with. It'll probably be closer to 825 like I was expecting. But sometimes you end up with something just a little bit bigger. And in this case, it's not going to affect anything because the customer's okay with that. He's cool with whatever he gets. More or less, within reason. I don't think he wants something crazy. So, like I said, we're going to step onto the bag, and yeah, I think we're ready to do that. I'm going to slide this camera over here once again. There we go. See if I can get the camera lens. Oh, there we go. That's what you want, right there. No camera for that one, and you guys can barely see it. Let me turn you so you guys can see it. Oh, I'm turning the wrong knob. That's the one I want right there. Okay, so same thing applies. Any questions, comments, concerns, or anything like that, please let me know in the comments section. I'd be happy to answer anything that you may have. Otherwise, we're going to keep this going and get the nice curvy curves onto this thing. So what I mean by the curves, see that flat edge? See how wide this thing looks? It's unusual, right? It doesn't look like a skateboard should. And there's a reason for that. It's because you have to round over the edge to give it that nice curvy curve that we're talking about. Because you don't want this thing hitting your shin. This thing hits your shin, bloody central. No good for nobody. So, same as before, I'm going to fire this one up. This one's just a little quieter. If you've been with the show, you know that it is just a little quieter of a machine. So I'm hoping that'll allow me to tell you some things as we're moving along in the project. So, let's get it going. Still have the fisheye going. I think I do anyways. Yep, still going. We're just going to hope. We're going to hope beyond hope that it doesn't cut off while we're doing this. Now I'm going to turn the air cleaner back on. And put that back where it goes. Just like that. Okay. Pretty good shot. Yeah, it's a pretty good shot for both of them. Not bad. Sometimes you just gotta go back and back, back and back and back and back. There you go. Purder, purdy, purdy, purdy. See that? That's what we just did. Right there. Right there. It's not bad. Woo! Gotta be careful. Gotta be careful. Gotta be careful. Don't want to fuck up the machine. Don't want to end up buying a new machine. Don't want to do it. Trying to be too special with it. Really, you just need to go back and forth like this. This is the best option. And then you get the nose and tail separately. Not bad. There we go. Now you can see we have both the sides looking really good. Just like that. Oh, wrong way. That way. Now we have to do the nose and tail. That's the next port. Next port. Right there. Okay. This one's still good. We're going to slide you on over there. Just because we can. Oh, look. It stopped recording again. Go figure, huh? I'm going to end up with a couple of 20-minute episodes on this one. Not bad. It looks good. It looks good. All right. A couple of touch-up points on this side. There we go. That one's looking pretty good already. Now we can do this side. Alright, that's looking pretty close. A little bit more. There we go. That's better. So, it looks pretty good. That's what we have right now. Just got done closing up the edge on that right there. Let me show you guys. Whoop, there we go. Not too bad. It came out really, really good. Just pretty nice, pretty nice. So, let's slide on back to our table. I'm going to leave that air cleaner on for a minute because that thing, whew, sandy or dusty. Got real dusty in here all of a sudden. Maybe I ought to move that over here. There we go. Now I can turn that back on. Okay, that's pretty good. So again, any questions, comments, concerns, please let me know in the comments section. Turn that loud SOB off. Like I said, any comments, questions, concerns about anything I'm doing, talking about, or building here, please let me know. Otherwise, we just got done getting this thing just about ready for our next step, which is going to be to smooth out these edges. This is your basic popsicle shape. This is on a mellow mold, so it does have a distinct nose and a distinct tail. I don't know if you can tell that from the video. Some of them you can, depending on what angle I place it at. There you go. So you can see it on YouTube stream, and then on Facebook you guys can see that pretty nicely. It turned out pretty good. So what is the temperature? Temperature outside, we're looking at like 20 degrees, what was it? I think it said 26 or 28. It was one of the two. Inside this warehouse right now, I'm probably in the low 50s. So, but it's not a even temperature, and that's part of the problem, is that it's a fluctuating temperature from room to room. But it's cold, I can just tell you that much. But it's, as long as I'm moving, building, I'm doing some things here, it's not actually as bad as it could be. I'm going to be honest. Could be a lot worse. As I have been in a lot worse, like working outside, shoveling snow for the last 2 weeks. The fun will continue with that, as always. Cold, yeah, definitely cold. The fun always continues. Oh, I'm going to break things here. I'm just breaking everything. How long have we been going here for anyways? I don't even know how long this stream's been happening. Oh, look, it is doing a dual stream. That's interesting. It says 49 minutes. That's not bad. We're actually making pretty good time on this. Very surprised at the time we've been making on this. So we're going to step right up to our next step, and that is to hit it with this hand sander, and I think this one's still good. And now what we're trying to do with this particular step, besides add more dust to the room, is to get rid of all the marks that thing left. So that bag is amazing. It does exactly what it's supposed to do, exactly how it's supposed to do it. However, it doesn't do, because it rotates at such a high speed, you don't get an even job. You actually get lines and grooves and things, and it's really kind of hard to show with the detail on some of these cameras. I could maybe show up a picture on like the main video when I make a long video of this. So we're going to hit this thing with the sander and try and get rid of all these little rough edges, smooth this thing out and make it look real pretty. So again, any questions, comments, concerns, please let me know in the comments section. I do appreciate you guys joining me on such a cold and just snowy, icy day. It just is awful outside, and I'm so glad you guys could join me in here and help keep me warm. It's fantastic. So, let's get it going! we got through half of that thing. Now I can take it off of here and I can show you the difference. So this is before. I don't know if you can see that on that lens, but I'll show you guys. You can see the before, what that edge looks like right there. Then you guys, this is the before, and this is afterwards. I don't know if you can tell how nice and smooth that has become. That is the after. It's nice and smooth now, and that is just with the 120. So once I actually go over this again with 220, baby soft, and that's what we're looking for. Nice and smooth. And then also, obviously, this is just not going to work. We're going to have to get rid of all that stuff. So that's another fun aspect. Getting rid of the dried glue and paint and whatever else cobwebs happen to be on there. Okay. Again, any questions, comments, hit me up. You know what to do. We're going to keep it going. Okay, I know it's super exciting watching all that. I apologize for the extra long time I took on that side, but sometimes you have to just take a little bit extra time to make sure that it is going to be looking the way it should. So after that, we're good to go on the sides. Now we can start doing the tops and bottom with the same 120. And then, like I said, after this process, we hit it with the 220. And that's where the real magic starts to come and show the real shine of this thing. as it turns out, tops and bottoms don't usually need too much extra attention. Just need to get rid of any of that extra junk that's on there. I happen to have a lot of extra glue on there, so that's why it took me that extra second to do it. Now I should be able to slide past this one pretty quick. So like I said, I was able to, 1 second. Okay, sorry about that. As I was saying, I was able to slide through that bottom part really quickly, mostly because I didn't change too much on the bottom end of it. And you can see we have that nice flat edge right here. You can see it on that camera. And you guys can see it right there. Nice flat edge. So I just had to get that curve to be even and nice and smooth, so it doesn't take very much. With that being said, we are ready to switch over to our 220. Now beside 120, this is just a little more gritty if you're not familiar with it. 220 is a little less gritty, a little smoother, thus taking off less amount of wood. I bet you did. I think I heard it. One second. So technically, yes, this thing was ready the moment I cut it out of that piece of wood. Anything I've been doing from the point of cutting it till now has been just making it more easier to ride, safer to ride, and safer to handle, obviously, and just look nicer too. So you could ride a board without without smoothing it out at all. Actually, some boards back in the like early days, the very beginning of skateboarding, they did exactly that. They just had a flat, it was just a flat edge, and then that's what they rode. So shins be damned, they just would take that pain and run with it. So I prefer the rounded over edge nowadays. It's just a lot easier on the shins and the hands when you're carrying around a skateboard all the time. Okay. like I said, sliding through it really quickly. A little bit more, a little bit more. So like I was saying before I rudely interrupted myself, we are pretty much there. We just wanted to get this thing nice and smooth, and I hope I did answer your question about it being ready, but it is important to also note that any skateboard that is going to be outside for any amount of time should have clear coat on it. So it is always very important to clear coat your skateboards once you're done. Trust me on this one. I promise. I've learned from experience. I've never tried to sell any like that. That would just be silly. But just stashing them, storing them for too long without any clear coat on them will cause them to twist and do some funny stuff. Pretty. Very nice. One more side to go, and then this thing is going to be ready for a riding. After clear coat, of course, and a graphic if we do one. Okay, very happy with this. This is turning out very, very nice. Everything went together very smoothly with it, almost too smoothly, if I do say so myself. It always worries me when a job goes really, really smooth. It's like if it doesn't go messed up just a little bit, I think maybe I did something wrong. But in this instance, I think I did right. I think I did good. I'm very happy with it. Oh, this damn camera. I swear, I just have to keep setting it and resetting it. We're going to sync it up one more time. Sync. Okay. Yeah, this thing is pretty nice. Turned out really, really beautiful. We'll pull up our full final measurements here in just a second. Just wanted to give you another eye shot of it. The front, the back, side to side. And then just for fun, we can turn the fishy eye here. I can show you guys, look at that. That's like, I'm basically putting it on the lens right here. That is super, super close. And then that is under the lens. So aside from the light issue and the fisheye aspect of it, it's pretty cool. Pretty cool, I think, anyways. So there we go. That's what we got. Turn that just a little bit more. Okay, so let's do a final wrap up and talk about what we have made here. So now, when I started this board, I don't think I need that quite anymore. When I started building this, I said I was going to go for an 825. Now, that also must be taken with a grain of salt, as if I can make this thing bigger and not affect anything, then why not? You know, if a customer doesn't care what size it's going to be ultimately, then I'm cool with making it just a little bit bigger. So with that being said, let's see what we end up with. We are almost, actually, exactly what I said it was going to be, 8 3/8. How freaking wild is that? Exactly 8 3/8. I love it when a plan comes together. It's amazing. It's exactly what I thought it was going to be, and it was exactly what I thought. Now our dimensions on our length, so we're showing 32 1/8, or more like 32 3/16. So that's pretty good. 32 3/16. That's pretty damn close to what I was looking for originally. Our nose, this is the nose, is it? I confuse my damn self sometimes. No, I think that's the nose. I think that might be the nose. I confused my damn self. What do you think? Nose, tail? Nose? Nose? Tail? Nose, tail? I don't know. I'm pretty sure that that is my nose. It feels steeper, but sometimes I just have to look at it. You just have to compare it. And okay, that's the nose. That's definitely the nose. I can see the rays on it. Anyways, so for the tail measurements, like we were saying, I'm actually at 6 7/8. 6 7/8 of an inch for the tail. The nose is right at 7 inches wide. Now our wheelbase, for you guys on Facebook who did not hear this before, is right at 14.25, 14 and a quarter. I'm sorry. Yeah, 14 and a quarter, 14.25. Confused myself there for a second. So aside from changing something kind of on the fly, I actually ended up with almost exactly what I was looking for as far as this shape. Now when we put it together with our other two that we have already assembled here, 1 and 2, well then we got a nice little triple stack here that is ready for the next step. Of course, a little dusting probably wouldn't hurt, but you know, that's neither here nor there. I think this one's the biggest one, honestly. That feels like the 868, the bad boy. Big one. Okay, yeah, I'm liking it. I'm liking it. They're looking pretty good. They're not all identical, obviously. I think 2 of these are twins. The 2 bottom 2 or the 2 top 2 are twins. One of these 2 are twins. 2 of the, I think it's the bottom and the last one are twins. Anyways, I'm getting off topic, just chit-chatting about stuff. So I do appreciate you guys joining me on today's episode. It has been a very cold and fun show for this time. I really had a good time. I'm so glad that you guys could join me. Like I said, never hurts to say it once, say it again, just so you guys know what I'm feeling. But anyways, this has been episode number 44, Bakwuds Live. We just got done making a skateboard for a specific order for a customer. We're going to come back and build some more probably soon. I don't know. We'll see. Weather dependent. You never know with the weather sometimes what it's going to allow you to do. What we're going to be making on the next episode, which I said this last time, I'm being truthful this time. I'm telling the truth. We're going to make this thing right here. We're going to make this right there. Make sure everybody can see it. I want the whole class to see it. That's what we're making. So like I said, I appreciate you guys joining me. Super Turbo, special thank you to you as well, always joining me on every episode. I hope you have a great night. Otherwise, everybody else, you all stay safe out there. If you're going to be out in the weather, wear some gloves, keep warm, and keep a smile on your face, because why not? Life is great. Anyways, take it easy. Y'all have a good night. And I'll see y'all next time. Right there. Yep, end it. Seems pretty good. We're going to end it with you guys too. Y'all take it easy, and I'll catch y'all next time. Yep, right there.